Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to episode 6. Let's get started. Our first word is acicula, which is a noun that means a needle-like part, spine, bristle, or needle-like crystal. Our second word is acicular, which is an adjective that means shaped like a needle. Our third word is acid, which is a noun that is a substance with a sour taste. It is also any of various typically water-soluble and sour compounds that in solution are capable of reacting with a base to form a salt, red in litmus, and have a pH less than 7, that are hydrogen-containing molecules or ions able to give up a proton to a base, or that are substances able to accept an unshared pair of electrons from a base. Our fourth word is acidic, which is an adjective that means having the properties of an acid or containing acid, having a pH below 7. It can also mean sharp tasting or sour. Our fifth word is acidulate, which is a verb that means to make acidic or slightly acidic. Our sixth word is aciniform, which is an adjective that means shaped like a cluster of grapes, clustered like grapes. Our seventh word is acknowledge, which is a verb used with an object that means to accept or admit the existence or truth of, for example, to acknowledge one's mistakes. It can also mean to recognize the authority, validity, or claims of. For example, the students acknowledged the authority of the student council. Our eighth word is acme, which is a noun that means the highest point, summit, peak. It can also mean the point at which someone or something is best, perfect, or most successful. Our ninth word is acolyte, which is a noun that means an altar attendant in public worship. It can also mean any attendant, assistant, or follower. Our 10th word is acoustic, which is an adjective that means pertaining to the sense or organs of hearing, to sound, or to the science of sound. It is also a noun that is the properties or qualities of a room or building that determine how sound is transmitted in it. Our 11th word is acquaint, which is a verb that means to make someone aware of or familiar with. For example, the new staff should be acquainted with the fire exit routes. It can also mean to bring into social contact. For example, I became acquainted with the mayor of my town. Our 12th word is acquaintance, which is a noun that is a person's knowledge or experience of something. For example, the students had little acquaintance with the language. It can also be a person one knows slightly, but who is not a close friend. Our 13th word is acquiesce, which is a verb used without an object that means to accept something reluctantly but without protest. Our 14th word is acquire, which is a verb used with an object that means to come into possession or ownership of, get as one's own. For example, to acquire property. It can also mean learn or develop a skill, habit, or quality. For example, after years of learning, he acquired fluency in French. Our 15th word is acquisition, which is a noun that is an asset or object bought or obtained, typically by a library or museum. Our 16th word is acquittal, which is a noun that is a judgment that a person is not guilty of the crime with which the person has been charged. Our 17th word is acre, which is a noun that is a common measure of an area. In the US and UK, 1 acre equals 4,840 square yards, 4,047 square meters, or 0.405 hectare. 640 acres equals 1 square mile. Our 18th word is acrid, which is an adjective that means sharp or biting to the taste or smell, bitterly pungent, irritating to the eyes, nose, etc. For example, acrid smoke from burning rubber. Our 19th word is acrimonious, which is an adjective that means, typically of speech or a debate, angry and bitter. For example, there was an acrimonious dispute about wages during the hearing. Our 20th word is acrobat, which is a noun that is a skilled performer of gymnastic feats, as walking on a tightrope or swinging on a trapeze. It is also a person who readily changes viewpoints or opinions. Our 21st word is acronym, which is a noun that is a word formed from the initial letters or groups of letters of words in a set phrase or series of words and pronounced as a separate word. For example, NASA, radar, laser, etc. Our 22nd word is acropolis, which is a noun that is the citadel or high fortified area of an ancient Greek city. Our 23rd word is across, which is a preposition that means from one side to the other of. For example, I ran across the street. It can also mean expressing position or orientation in relation to an area or passage. For example, they lived across the street from one another. It is also an adverb that means from one side to the other of a place, area, etc. For example, he had swum across the lake. Our 24th word is acrostic, which is a noun that is a series of lines or verses in which the first, last, or other particular letters, when taken in order, spell out a word, phrase, etc. Our 25th word is acrylic, which is an adjective that means of synthetic resins and textile fibers made from polymers of acrylic acid. For example, a red acrylic sweater. It is also a noun that is an acrylic textile fiber. It is also an acrylic paint. Our 26th word is act, which is a noun that means anything done, being done, or to be done, deed, performance. For example, a heroic act. It is also a verb used without an object that means to do something, exert energy or force. For example, he acted promptly in the emergency. It can also mean behave in the way specified. For example, they followed the group who was seen acting suspiciously. Our 27th word is acting, which is an adjective that means serving temporarily, especially as a substitute during another's absence, not permanent, temporary. For example, the acting mayor. It is also a noun that means the art, profession, or activity of those who perform in stage, plays, motion pictures, etc. Our 28th word is action, which is a noun that is something done or performed, act, deed. It is also the fact or process of doing something, typically to achieve an aim. For example, he vowed to take action against phone scammers. Our 29th word is activate, which is a verb used with an object that means to make active, cause to function or act. For example, smoke from cooking can often activate the smoke alarm in homes. Our 30th word is active, which is an adjective that means engaging or ready to engage in physically energetic pursuits. For example, I needed to change my lifestyle and become more active. It can also mean pursuing an occupation or activity at a particular place or in a particular way. For example, the artist was active in the 1930s. Our 31st word is activism, which is an adjective that means the doctrine or practice of vigorous action or involvement as a means of achieving political or other goals, sometimes by demonstrations, protests, etc. Our 32nd word is activist, which is a noun that is an especially active, vigorous advocate of a cause, especially a political cause. Our 33rd word is activity, which is a noun that is the condition in which things are happening or being done. For example, there has been a sustained level of activity in the economy. It can also mean a thing that a person or group does or has done. For example, the law firm's marketing activities. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.